Hello students. Today in this video, I will continue your chapter number 13, speed and motion and time. So children, already we have learned about the concept of speed and different types of motion like uniform and non-uniform motion. So next comes the concept of measurement of time. So, if we start from past years, that how do our ancestors used to measure the time? So, first of all, they noticed that many of the things in the nature repeat themselves after a regular interval of time. Means we used to say that they are having a periodic motion. For example, they found that sun rises every day in the morning. So the time between one sunrise and the next was called a day. So they used to measure the time of the day from the time between one sunrise and the next was considered as a day. Similarly, a month was measured from one new moon to the next new moon. So they considered it as 1 month. And a year was fixed as the time taken by the earth to complete one revolution of the sun. So, in this way, our ancestors marked the day, month, and year. But nowadays, what we do, we need to measure time interval of a time. So we measure the very small intervals of a time, shorter intervals of a time. So time is measured by using clocks or watches, because clocks and watches they make use of periodic motion. So children, first of all, we'll study the next part. So this is how the clocks and watches works. Next comes the concept of simple pendulum. So you should know that what is a simple pendulum. Simple pendulum has a small metallic bob suspended from a stand by a thread. So it's a simple, so you can see in the diagram, it's a simple bob which is tied with the thread, and it's hang with the it is suspended from a stand by a thread. Whatever the rigid sport is there, it is suspended from that rigid sport. So if that time is taken to one side and released, so this is a simple pendulum. Now how we calculate its to and fro motion? So if we take the pendulum to one side and release it, so obviously the pendulum will come to the other side and it will start swinging like this. So this, it moves to and fro. This motion is known as to and fro. This side, left, right, it will move. And to and fro motion of a simple pendulum is called periodic motion or oscillatory motion. So this we are talking about the simple pendulum. Next comes the concept of, let's discuss in detail that what does the oscillation means. So oscillation, when the bob moves from the mean position O, I think it's now clearly visible. The O position, this center position is known as a mean position. And these two, A and B position, these both positions are known as extreme positions. So as I had told you already, that first of all we take the bob from the center to the A position and we release it. Obviously the bob will come to O, then to B, then again to O, and then in this way it will swing. So I want to tell you one thing, that when we will calculate one oscillation, when it's one oscillation will be calculated. So one oscillation will be calculated when bob move from one extreme position A to the another extreme position B and then back to A. Then it is considered as one oscillation. So children, just mind it. Uh, if you need to calculate the oscillations of a pendulum, then we can calculate the oscillation. Then you should know that how one oscillation will be considered. Next is a time period of a pendulum. So, time taken by a pendulum to complete one oscillation. In how much time the pendulum has completed one oscillation is called its time period. So, this is a concept of pendulum. So, I hope the concept of pendulum is clear to you. What is the oscillation and what is the time period? So, children, simple about simple pendulum, you should remember, and you should anything. Okay, instead of bob, you can hang a stone even. Tie a thread to the stone and hang it to the rigid support. Then you can swing it in such a way it will work as a pendulum. Thank you.